Good morning, children. Today we are going to see the same lesson, physical quantities and measurement, which is our lesson number 2. Here we are going to see the last portion. Okay, so before that we'll see what are we are going to see this in this portion. First one is the temperature. What do you mean by temperature? We have already seen the SI units for the fundamental quantities. What were the three fundamental quantities? Your mass, your time, and your what was the third one? MST. So accordingly you have the third one as mass, time, and what is the other fundamental first three fundamental quantities? Your mass, uh, length, and time. Your mass, length, and time. Now we are going to see the uh, another fundamental quantity called temperature. Okay, what is this temperature? It is defined as the degree of hotness or coldness. It is defined as the degree means degree. Degree means we are going to say in degree Celsius or degree Kelvin or degree Fahrenheit. It is a notation, or you can say a unit of hotness or coldness, and it is commonly represented as degree Celsius or degree Fahrenheit. You have to write the spellings for Celsius and Fahrenheit five times. Okay, then only you can understand or you can remember the spelling. The spellings are different. Celsius, Celsius, and then the Fahrenheit. H is silent, so you can say FAHREN, heat, HEIT. It is not HEAT, it is HEIT. Okay, now what is the SI unit? It is Kelvin. It is Kelvin. So what is temperature? It is the degree of hotness or coldness. Temperature is the degree of hotness or coldness, and it is represented in degree Celsius or in degree Fahrenheit. The SI unit is Kelvin. Then how are we going to measure this temperature? We need to measure temperature. We know we are going to use an instrument. What is that instrument? It is called thermometer. Thermo. THERMO, meter, METER. It is not METRE. That meter is for the unit length. That is for the length. The SI unit of length was meter, METRE. This is meter. So that has to measure. This has to measure the temperature. So thermometer. Okay. Now, what are the parts of a thermometer? You have three parts. The first one is the bulb. The second one is the stem. Third one is the scale. Sure. Okay. Now, what is the bulb? Bulb is the place which touches the object. It is the point which touches the object. Okay. And it has mercury or alcohol. You look at that bottom uh, part. It is the glass bulb with mercury. And then you have a small kink. Kink means one bend. Okay, why you have the bend? Because you don't want the mercury to flow back. It will be rising up. The mercury will be rising up. So the moment you take the thermometer from the object, it will fall down. Okay, it will fall down. In that case, it should not go back. So that is where you have that kink is a small bend to stop the mercury from flowing back. Then the stem is the long, it is the long tube. Okay, and in the tube you have a glass capillary. Capillary means a very thin tube, a very thin tube. You have now, you have seen the pipes going through your houses, right? It carries water. What will be the size of the pipe? It will be half inches or your 3 by 4 inches, all those it will be in inches. That means the water will be flowing through the pipe. Similarly, if you have a tube which is like, you combine 3 4 hairs means your hair, only that much thickness you have a tube. Okay, so in that tube this mercury will rise, and that tube is inside one covering that is called as stem. And then there is the scale. You want to know what is the reading, so the markings are indicated on the scale. Now, what are the temperature scales we are going to use? We have two temperature scales. One is the three temperature scales. One is a Celsius scale, second one is the Fahrenheit scale, and the third one is the Kelvin scale. In all these scales, you have two reference temperatures. One is the freezing point and one is the boiling point. We usually choose water because that is the standard liquid. So we take two temperatures. One is the freezing point of water and the other one is the boiling point of water. And we have three scales. One is the Celsius scale, second one is the Fahrenheit scale, and the third one is the Kelvin scale. Now, what is a Celsius scale? Okay, it was developed by Anders Celsius, so that is why it is called as Celsius scale. That is, we usually honor the inventor. The inventor's name would be kept for the invented item. So, Mr. Anders Celsius discovered or developed this Celsius scale. So, we are calling this after him. So, this is the Celsius scale, the picture you have seen here. Then the unit is called degree Celsius. Degree means I put a small round, right, oval, and that it is on the top. It is not on the same level as C. It is only on the top. Okay, so it is degree Celsius. Okay, on this scale, okay, what is the freezing point? It is taken as 0 degrees Celsius. And what is the boiling point? It is taken as 100 degrees Celsius. So this freezing point is called the lower fixed point, and 100 degrees Celsius is called the upper fixed point. So between 0 and 100 you have 100 divisions. You see the scale there, they have written 10, 20, 30, 40 till 100. 0 is the bottom. So water will freeze at 0 degrees Celsius, and then when it is 100 degrees Celsius it will start to boil. Okay, so degree Celsius is one type of the scale. It was developed by Anders Celsius, and the unit here is degree Celsius. Okay, on the scale we have 2 points. One is what? Freezing point, which is 0 degrees Celsius, and then we have the boiling point, which is 100 degree Celsius. And between 0 to 100 you have 100 divisions. Divisions means the markings 10, 20, 30. Now coming to the Fahrenheit scale. This scale, you see how tall it is or how long it is. It was developed by Daniel Gabriel Fahrenheit. The name of the scientist here is Daniel Gabriel Fahrenheit. The unit here is degree Fahrenheit. Here the freezing point is 32 degree Fahrenheit. It is called 32 degree Fahrenheit, and the boiling point is 212 degree Fahrenheit. The boiling point here is 212. So at 32 degree Fahrenheit your water freezes, and then at 212 degree Fahrenheit your water boils. So what is the difference between 212 and 32? 180. So 180 divisions are between 32 and 212. You can see that written in the picture also. 32 degree Fahrenheit is in the middle. From there you have 212. Between that you have 180 degree Fahrenheit. Okay, and the absolute zero is at minus 459, which is at the bottom. Okay, now coming to the Kelvin scale. This is invented by Lord Kelvin. This scale is invented by Lord Kelvin. The unit is capital K. Unit is capital K. Now our freezing point of water is taken as 273. It is taken as the 273. That is the point where ice is formed. And then you have the boiling point of water. You have to add 100 degrees more. So that will become 373. You take 273 as the freezing point and 373 as the boiling point. Here the 0 Kelvin is nothing but your minus 273 degree Celsius. Now, what are the ice points and the steam points in three different scales? In Celsius, it is 0 and 100. In Fahrenheit, it is 32 and 212. And in Kelvin, it is 273 and 370. This is very important. You should learn this because you will be getting this in match, fill-ups or in any 1 mark. Now, what is the relationship between the scales? Now, we are going to talk first about the degree Celsius and the degree Fahrenheit. It is 5 by 9 of degree Fahrenheit minus 32. Then when the Fahrenheit is given, we have to find it with this formula. We can convert the Fahrenheit to the degree Celsius. 5 by 9 into degree Celsius minus 32. Now, if degree Celsius is given, you can find the Fahrenheit value using this formula, which is the second one, 9 by 5 into degree Celsius plus 32. Plus 32. So, the bracket is very, very important. According to the bracket, you have to work it out. And then Kelvin. Kelvin is nothing but you are going to add 273 with the given degree Celsius. Okay. So, this one formula, all these three formulas are important, and the last one, that is Kelvin, is equal to degree Celsius is plus 273. That is very, very important. And the comparisons of the two scales, Celsius and Fahrenheit, is given here in the picture. Now we'll see what are the three types of thermometer. One is our clinical thermometer, second one is our digital thermometer, third one is our laboratory thermometer, and the fourth one is the maximum minimum thermometer. We have seen all these types of thermometers. Okay, by now you will be mostly seeing the last one. The first one was earlier used as clinical thermometer. Then the second one is the laboratory, which will be very long in size. Then the digital one, and the maximum minimum thermometer is used to measure the temperature of the place. You know, today Coimbatore maximum 32 degrees Celsius, or whichever value it is read on the scale, we will be getting. So we'll see what are all the four types of thermometer now. First one is the clinical thermometer. First, it is used to measure the temperature of the human body. That is why it is used in clinics. Now, because of this corona, you have seen people are checking the temperature using the gun type of thermometer, right? They just bring the sensor in front of your forehead and then it will read the temperature. Now all the banks, all places you see that. So a clinical thermometer is a thermometer which will read the temperature of the human body. Okay, what should be the normal temperature? It should be 37 degrees Celsius or 98.6 degree Fahrenheit. It should be 37 degrees Celsius or 98.6 degree Fahrenheit. If the temperature is more than 98.6, say if it is 100, they say my temperature was 102 when I had heavy fever. That means it is in Fahrenheit. It is not in degree Celsius. The moment they say 98.6, it becomes the Fahrenheit scale. It is not on the Celsius scale. And if the temperature rises, then there is some problem or some illness in the body. Okay, and if it is more than 104 or it is reaching 104 degree Fahrenheit, then it is a medical emergency. You have to take them to treatment. Then it has a bend or a kink to prevent the flow of mercury to the back from the from this kink, that is the bend, which is allowing, or it will prevent the mercury to flow back. Okay, so clinical thermometer to measure the temperature of the body. The normal temperature should be 98.6 degree Fahrenheit. If it is more than that, you will have to check whether you are having fever or if there is some problem in your body. You have to go for an emergency medical checkup, and then finally there is a small kink in the thermometer to prevent the mercury to flow back. Then the laboratory thermometer, it is mainly used in the laboratory for the experiments, and it ranges from minus 10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. Okay, it ranges from minus 10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. You see the length, the long tube. So this is the laboratory thermometer. You don't have a small bulb. The bulb here is not very small. It will be a bit large. See that red color mercury, that place the bulb, it is not, is having that the kink is not that clear, but this will be the shape of your laboratory thermometer. Coming to the digital thermometer, it is widely used. There is no mercury here. The mercury which we are using in those two types, clinical and in the laboratory thermometer. Mercury is a liquid. Actually, it is a liquid like water. They were used in the thermometers mainly to give the temperature, because mercury will have the property of rising. It will be rising at that point of boiling, or that particular temperature, it will start to rise. So that property we are going to use for our thermometers. Now it is easier to read the temperature because of the digital display. You need not go see with the minute readings and all. You can directly see, I can read from here 37.0 degrees Celsius. Yes, so I can read it directly. I need not go check with the readings whether it is 0.5 degrees Celsius or this or that. It is very clear, very easy. It is widely used. Now coming to the maximum minimum thermometer. This thermometer is used to measure the maximum minimum temperatures in a day, or during a day. See, the moment there is rain, the temperature will dip. Dip means it will go down. Or if it is on a sunny day at afternoon 12 o'clock, that means temperature would be more. Okay, the maximum temperature which can be read on the scale is called maximum temperature, or the minimum temperature. You can read it. These two together will give the temperature of a place. It ranges from minus 30 degrees Celsius to 50 degrees Celsius. It is also called as 6 thermometer. 6 SIX apostrophe S, 6 thermometer. Okay, children, look at the diagram. It is a U shaped. On the top you have a spirit. Okay, and you have the mercury inside the capillary tube. Left side you have minimum, in the right side you have the maximum, and there's airspace on the top. Below you have a magnet. All these things is the setup for the maximum minimum thermometer. This thermometer you will see at the places like in Coimbatore, you can see at Tamil Nadu Agricultural University, because they give the this data to the newspaper, your TV channels, etc. The TV channels, say take one TV channel, they will be giving the details at the end of the day, on the end of the news bulletin. Today's weather report or today's temperatures across the cities. They will say Chennai 42 degree Celsius, minimum 35 degrees Celsius. They will be giving the temperatures. No, those temperatures are obtained from this thermometer only. Now coming to the estimation. How are we going to do the estimation? Estimation means we are going to approximate. Approximate means what? Certain things we will take it as approximate values. Say the value of pi. Pi, we saw in the formula, no? Volume of a sphere or a volume of a cylinder or the volume of the cone. We said there was the pi r squared h was the volume of the cylinder, and the area of the circle pi r squared, that pi value is taken as 22 by 7. Okay, it is approximately 3.14, approximately only, because when I divide 22 by 7 it will be keep on going and going and going. It will have so many what numbers on the quotient. So we are going to approximate that as either 22 by 7 or 3.14. So this approximation will be like will be called as the estimation. Okay, now I take example as to bake a birthday cake. Okay, what will you do? You will take 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of the flour to bake a cake. That is, we are taking it approximately, because the cup here is not a standard measurement, because your cup size will be different. The cup which I will be using will be different. We are not going to use the same standard cups, because take the example of the tumbler. The size of the tumbler at your house would be different from that of my house, but we can say we can take that approximate quantity. That tumbler is the approximate quantity for our thing, so that is the estimation. Coming to the averages. Averages means what? There's a slight changes in the measurement because of approximation. They are called, they are all corrected by averages. The slight changes in the measurement are approximated or rounded off using averages. Average value is nothing but the sum of all observations divided by the number of observations. You have seen the total marks of your 10th standard sisters or brothers, or the 11th standard, 12th standard sisters or brothers. They will have 6 subjects: Tamil, English, physics, chemistry, biology, and maths. Out of all the 6 subjects, they will be getting their marks, and all the marks will be totaled up. Say out of 600, they have scored 550. Now, what will be their average? It will be 550 divided by 6. So, overall approximation of the marks, it is the approximation of the measurements. So averages is the approximation of the measurements. So average value is equal to sum of all observations divided by the number of observations. So children, go through the video, understand the topic, and then start filling the fill ups and send it as a homework. Okay, thank you.